Welcome back to Whispers of Mystery. Please like, comment, and tell us where you're watching from. Tonight, we unfold a story soaked in betrayal, age, and regret. A story of love that withered, temptation that destroyed, and karma that never forgets. For 30 years, Martha had known one rhythm. The soft hum of her husband's breathing beside her, the warmth of his morning coffee, the familiar sound of his shoes leaving for work. At 50, she still carried a gentle beauty, the kind that didn't fade with age but deepened like old wine. Her world was small but content. Daniel was her everything, her laughter, her security, her home. But lately, the air in the house had changed. Daniel came home late, his phone glued to his hand, his smile more forced than familiar. He stopped laughing at Martha's jokes. He stopped noticing her dresses. He began to wear cologne again, the same kind he hadn't touched in years. And every night, when Martha waited by the dinner table, the clock ticked louder. She didn't know it yet, but love, her love, was dying quietly, replaced by something far colder. In the shadows of that quiet house, a betrayal had already begun. Her name was Lily. 18. Bright. Reckless. She worked at the cafe near Daniel's office, the kind of girl who thought the world owed her adventure. Daniel met her by chance, a spilled coffee, a flirty laugh. And suddenly, Daniel, a man of 50, worn by years and routine, felt young again. He began visiting the cafe more often. Then came late-night messages. Then excuses to work overtime. Martha didn't question him, not at first. She believed in the man she married. But temptation is a clever thief. It doesn't steal all at once. It takes piece by piece, until you don't even recognize what's missing. By the time Martha found the first lipstick stain on his collar, Daniel had already crossed the line. And when she asked softly, "Daniel, is there someone else?" he didn't answer. He just stared and walked away. Weeks turned to months. The silence between them became unbearable. Daniel packed his things one morning. No shouting, no fight, just a cold, quiet finality. "I can't do this anymore," he said. "Martha, I need to feel alive again." She stood frozen, her heart splitting into 1,000 pieces. He didn't look back. Within weeks, photos of Daniel and Lily began to surface on social media. A man reborn, holding hands with a girl young enough to be his daughter. They smiled for cameras. They travelled. They posted quotes about new beginnings. Martha watched it all. Alone in the same house where they once planned their forever. And as tears fell, something inside her shifted. Not anger, not hatred. Just silence. A silence that would one day become her greatest weapon. Lily thought she'd found love. An older man who adored her, spoiled her, promised her the world. But Daniel wasn't the prince she imagined. He was tired, controlling, jealous. He wanted youth without the truth that came with it. Arguments replaced laughter. Lily grew restless. She missed her friends, her freedom, her age. And Daniel, he grew paranoid. He couldn't stand the thought of losing the one thing that made him feel young. But time is merciless. His colleagues whispered behind his back. His children refused to speak to him. Even the mirror betrayed him, showing the wrinkles he tried to forget. Meanwhile, Martha, the woman he left, had changed. She wasn't broken anymore. She'd begun painting again, smiling again. She'd found peace in her solitude, and people noticed. Daniel saw her one day, across the street, radiant, calm, untouched by bitterness. And for the first time, he felt old. Money ran low. Lily left, and Daniel, the man who once thought he could outrun time, was left with nothing but silence. He tried calling Martha once. She didn't answer. He sent an email. I miss you. It stayed unread. Loneliness crept in like a ghost. His friends avoided him. His children pitied him. And the girl who once promised him eternity had blocked his number. Daniel began to drink. He'd walk past the cafe where he met Lily, now with a new owner, a new name, and wonder how something that felt so alive could die so fast. And in those quiet nights, when he lay awake, he could still hear Martha's voice in his head, soft, forgiving, almost angelic. I hope one day you find what you're looking for, Daniel, even if it's just regret. Years passed. Daniel, now frail, stood outside Martha's home one autumn evening. He hadn't seen her in years, but her house still looked the same, warm, safe, alive. She opened the door, and for a moment they just stared at each other, two ghosts from the same past, separated by choices and time. I'm sorry, he whispered. She smiled gently. You don't need to be, she said. You just need to live with it. And she closed the door, not out of hate, but peace. That moment became his final lesson. Some doors, once closed, should never be reopened. Daniel passed away months later, alone, in a small apartment. No one attended his funeral except a few distant relatives. But across town, Martha lit a candle, not in revenge but remembrance. She whispered softly to herself, Some loves die, but some wounds heal stronger than love ever was. And as the flame flickered, the narrator's voice fades. In the end, betrayal doesn't always end in fire. Sometimes it ends in silence, and silence can be the loudest revenge of all. Thank you for watching Whispers of Mystery. If this story moved you, leave a comment below. And remember, the heart never forgets, but karma never forgives.